but it's already grooving. So when you're mixing this in, you're like, okay, you know, people are already gonna feel this. Then I add an extra sub after 30 seconds, so you can really mix it in from here, and people are already feeling that something is about to happen. Then I choose to use some violins to really build that tension. It's almost a little bit annoying, but I like it. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. The lights are gonna stroke probably. And what I did then, of course, everything is in a filter right now with the reverb and stuff. Right there. Now, a funny thing about creating that hype build-up is what I did right here. Oh yes, and it's clipping, by the way. But I love it when it's clipping. That's great. This is actually it's the same lead, but what I did, I think I have it somewhere here. I think it's on this one or the main lead. I used a creative filter from what is it, Sonelxis, and what I did instead of filtering it the right way, I turned this bad boy off to root, which really, it really distorts the sound like crazy. So when you turn it up, it gives that, like phasing effect, and it's like it's almost like a pitching effect. So when you trigger it, I don't know if I can show. Oh, wait, sorry. Hey, you can hear the difference, the resonance on root. And that really helps if I bounce that in the project itself, because it really eats a lot of your CPU. So that's why I bounce it to audio. That's something I do all the time because my laptop sometimes just can't handle it anymore. All those, look at it. This is like 88 layers. So I bounce it. And a little bit of sample delay just to get it out of the middle, just to make some space of room for all the other stuff that's going on. And if you mix it the right way, it's a really cool feature. Nothing special, but it's cool. I like it. Also, speaking of the build-up, what I always do, and this is I don't know if you guys use it. It's something. I learned listening to Axwell in the beginning of my career. What he does is actually really simple, but when you think about it, it just makes so much sense. I'm gonna overdo it right now, so you guys can really hear what's going on. While the drop is starting like from, this is 1 minute, so like 50 seconds build, the last 15 seconds, it's gonna go from 100% stereo almost to mono, and then when the drop hits, it just explodes. So it goes back to 100% stereo. What that does, it actually tricks your ears, because when you're on the dance floor, you're like, okay, and it's like it's like something is exploding, like a flower is opening, and especially with melodic drops, that's a really cool thing to do. Because it's like, whoa, there's so much extra stuff going on, but it's actually just, you're tricking your ears. So like that. Okay, my Logic is that's why I'm using the new Logic, because this is like it's so old. But it's a really cool thing. I use the Vengeance mastering suite. It has a stereo splitter, but also I know like a few guys use Brainworks for it. Brainworks has some VSTs that do the trick as well, or you can use the Waves stereo and thing widener. Sometimes I also put a high cut on my master. So when it goes towards the drop, you just you cut a little bit of the highs of the high frequencies, and it does actually the same thing. So it's like, yeah, it's like everything sounds so fresh and sparkly, and yeah, it's just that's a quality tip, I guess. All right, so that's basically the build up. It's actually pretty simple, nothing. Oh yeah, that's a cool thing. People always say like, yeah, your sub has to be mono. I don't agree with that. Why? Because I think well, your main sub, like the lowest sub should be mono. Your kick should be mono, but you can definitely play around with toms, like percussion, or like a wide bass, like a UK garage bass. I don't know if you guys know that, like from the dubstep or the drum and bass scene. Can really help filling up your track. Like it will sound way more fat than just a mono, low end. As you can see, I don't know what I did here, but I like to tweak everything. This is just a basic sine from a Logic instrument, the ES2. And here, this is against all rules, but I just boosted it like how I needed it. And that's the thing I wanna say to you, like, don't listen too much to what I'm gonna say, because I'm probably not doing it the right way, the professor way, but I'm just using my ears. If it sounds good to me, I will use it. Also, the same thing goes for the amount of plugins I use and in which order I use them. Sometimes I can use a compressor after a reverb or the other way around. I don't care. If it sounds like how I want it to sound, then I'm gonna use it. A really cool feature that I used on this one as well is the R bass. The R bass is actually it's like the max bass in waves. You can set the frequency here. This one is at 100 because the key of funk is really high. And that's why it's really hard to get like a good sounding track. But I tried to do it like on a lower key, like on G, but it just didn't work out. It didn't have the same energy. I don't know why, but it's just that's my feeling. Sometimes you get used to a certain demo you started, but this is a good trick to actually warm up your bass sound, but also a good trick to make the bass hearable on your laptop speakers or like small speakers where they don't give you the feeling of the bass, so you can hear the bass. It's a really cool trick actually, because when I turn it off, you can hear it. Wait, I'll solo this. See, it's like yeah, I can overdo it. Now you can hear it, but you can still feel it. But it's just that extra. It gives that extra dimension. Oh wait, there's a low cut going on here. But anyway, yeah, that's a cool feature that I use all the time on my basses. Also on my percussion. And depending on the key you're working in, yeah, you can obviously set the right frequency here.